हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू शॉर्ट एंड सुपर फास्ट राइटर्स। दोस्तों, अगर अभी तक आपने इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो सब्सक्राइब कर लें और बेल आइकन को दबाएं डेली शॉर्ट एंड डिक्टेशंस की नोटिफिकेशंस के लिए। और आज की डिक्टेशन ASRB एस्पिरेंट्स के लिए है। 90 वर्ड्स पर मिनट इसकी स्पीड होगी। शुरू करते हैं डिक्टेशन। बी रेडी। 10 seconds, 5 seconds, start. So we will have to take certain decisions if we want to introduce mechanized farming. We will have to take a separate decision with regard to the lands which come under cultivation and different decisions for other lands. The farmers get very little or no facilities for soil testing. My suggestion is that there should be soil testing laboratory in each block headquarters so that the farmers can get instructions from the specialists very easily. I have already mentioned about ceilings. There are some places in the country where deforestation is going on rapidly and the farmers are being instructed by the government machinery for growing forests in their highlands and wastelands, but I believe the authorities will take care to exclude the forests in the agricultural lands from the land ceiling laws. Another suggestion is about the fishing tanks. I am glad that West Bengal government has taken such a decision, and in Orissa also, which I believe is also a fishing state, the tanks will be outside the limit of ceiling. I now come to the activities of the Food Corporation of India. It has become a panic in the minds of the rural farmers. Then comes the problem of fertilizers. In agricultural, fertilizers play a very important role. As you know, Odisha is a rice producing state, and we have been fighting with the government and requesting for having a naphtha based fertilizer unit in Paradeep. At least the center agreed to have a naphtha based fertilizer unit in Paradeep, but the action is very slow, and for the last 4 years Odisha is paying crores of rupees for importing fertilizer at a very high cost, which becomes intolerable to the farmers. Then comes jute, which is one of the most important crops of Odisha. In spite of the assurances of having a jute mill in Odisha so that the cultivators will get better opportunities for their jute, no action has been taken, and we have to send the jute to the West Bengal for being manufactured. In this net, the cultivators lose heavily the price, as there are also certain shortcomings in the government departments and in certain sections. It is obvious that the price of sugar is going up and up. I believe every citizen of India will have to consider himself that he is suffering from diabetes and he should keep off sugar, and of course there is the doctor's advice that after the age of 50 one must reduce the intake of sugar by 50%. Everybody here will feel that he has attained the age of 50 and give up sugar to that extent. Now let me come to the scheme for small farmers. Such schemes are being thrust upon the people and the states. The schemes are prepared here, but they vary from district to district. In some places, persons having 2 or 5 acres may be called small farmers, but in various areas one has 10 acres, still he is a small farmer. Sir, in my opinion, it is not so because we are facing serious shortage of food in this country. The question is not one of only distribution. The question is also one of increased production in agriculture. The figures that have been given in the review of the food situation from which he quoted make it absolutely clear that the food deficit last year was to the extent of about 7 million tons, and this year it is going to rise to the tune of 12 to 13 million tons. Although from the chart of distribution one can say that the average per capita availability of food might be about 13 ounces, which is supposed to be the basic minimum. Under these circumstances, we must not forget that in India, unlike in other countries, we have not got supplementary foods like eggs and milk to supplement these cereals. Therefore, the intake of 13 ounces, which at present moment is the food supplied to us, is not enough in this country without the subsidiary foods being available at cheap and economic rates to keep the body moving or to produce the calories that go into the working of human body for 24 hours. Sir, my honorable friend has been at pains to explain, and I myself had some doubts which I expressed the other day when speaking on the motion of thanks to the President's address, that with the food zones as they are now, practically every state is cordoned off into one food zone. There is restriction on the movement of food grains from one state to another, and that we are not, in my opinion, adopting a national policy so far as food is concerned. That was my view, and that remains so to a certain extent. But when we look at it in the present context of things, we must not forget what would be the result if the food zones were abolished. Immediately, one effect to my mind would be to increase the prices all around. if all the movement of food grains is made free in the country and if it is in the hands of the private trade, then the prices of food grains would fall. This was the idea of my friend, to which I do not agree. These two things are not complementary to each other. If today there is hoarding because they want higher prices, then if the food zones are removed tomorrow, then there will be profiteering on a large scale and the prices will not come down. My friend says that there is availability of food grains but purchase machinery is not there, which is contrary to the facts. We have a food corporation for purchases in the states also, which was established by the center. If the distribution and the purchase of food grains in the country is taken over by the government, there will be numerous problems wherefrom the center will produce the tremendous finance that would be required. It will create problems. So thanks for watching. Do like, subscribe and share.